In the warm heart of Umudim village, where the hills kissed the clouds and the rivers whispered secrets to the trees, there lived a young maiden named Amaka. Her beauty was not only in her bright eyes or the curve of her smile, but in the kindness that dripped from her every word, in the way her hands healed, her laughter comforted, and her spirit inspired. Amaka's parents had passed away when she was just 9, leaving her in the care of her uncle, Uncle Ojiego, her father's younger brother. Ojiego took her in, but not with love. He was a man full of greed, bitterness, and secrets, especially the one about how he had a hand in the mysterious fire that killed her parents just to inherit his brother's land. But the gods see all, even when humans look away. Despite her uncle's coldness, Amaka grew with joy in her heart. She fetched water for the old, sang for the children, and helped the sick without expecting anything in return. The villagers loved her deeply. They said, if kindness wore a face, it would look like Amaka. Among her friends was a girl named Nina. Nina had once been close like a sister, but jealousy slowly bloomed in her heart like weed among flowers. Every time people praised Amaka, Nina would feel her throat tighten. Why does everyone like her? She would mutter. What does she have that I don't? The final straw came during the Iriji New Yam Festival. The village elder, after consulting the oracle, declared that a maiden with a pure heart would lead the dance before the king, a rare honor reserved for the most virtuous. The gods themselves, it was said, would bless the land through her. Everyone knew it would be Amaka. And indeed, when the elder priest poured libation and asked the spirits for a sign, a dove descended from the skies and landed on Amaka's shoulder. The village erupted in cheer, but Nina's heart turned cold. That night, she went to Uncle Ojiego, who had also been watching with eyes full of envy and schemes. Together, they hatched a plan to bring Amaka down. She is too loved, Ojiego hissed, his eyes glowing in the lantern light. If she rises, she will learn everything, including how I cheated her. Nina, trembling with guilt but too jealous to stop, agreed. The next day, a rumor spread like wildfire. Amaka had stolen charms from the shrine to win favor from the gods. It was a grave offense, punishable by banishment or worse. Amaka was dragged to the village square, her wrapper dusty, her feet bruised. Did you enter the shrine to take charms? The chief priest asked. No, she said, tears running down her cheeks. I would never disrespect the gods. Nina stood silent in the crowd. Ojiego, pretending to cry, stepped forward with a fake trembling voice. She told me herself. I tried to stop her, but she said she would do anything to shine. The crowd gasped. But just before the chief priest could pronounce judgment, a loud cry came from the sky. A second dove, larger than the first, landed between Amaka and the priest. The air shifted. The priest dropped his staff. The gods speak again. That night, the oracle was consulted again. It was revealed that not only was Amaka innocent, but that her parents were killed through a betrayal in their own bloodline. All eyes turned to Ojiego. The land had grown barren for years because of hidden sin. His hands were red. Ojiego tried to run, but the crowd seized him. Nina, in shame, fell to her knees. I lied, she cried. I lied because I was jealous. Amaka never hurt anyone. Amaka, broken but calm, walked up to her. Jealousy is poison, Nina. You drank it and tried to make me bleed. She forgave her, but Nina left the village in shame, vowing to heal her heart elsewhere. As for Amaka, she led the Iriji dance with grace, her steps blessing the soil beneath her feet. The rains returned, the crops grew, and Umudim rejoiced. The king honored her with the title Ada Udu, Daughter of Peace. And the story of the maiden with a golden heart, betrayed but not broken, was told to remind the people truth may sleep, but it never dies. After Amaka's uncle Ojiego was banished from Umudim, years passed since Amaka's name had become a song in every household in Umudim. The rains had returned, the land was fruitful, and peace had wrapped itself around the village like a wrapper in the harmattan. Amaka remained beloved. Though many young men sought her hand in marriage, she stayed unmarried. Her heart content with service, her spirit quietly waiting for something even she didn't understand. Then, one evening, as the sun dipped into the horizon and painted the skies in gold, something strange happened. A terrible storm broke loose at sea, not far from the shores beyond Umudim's hidden coastline. A large foreign ship, tall as a tree and strange in design, was tossed like a leaf on the water. It almost wrecked, but by some mystery. Some whispered the gods had a hand in it. It drifted gently into a quiet beach near Umudim. From the cracked hull and trembling decks stepped men unlike anything the villagers had seen. Europeans. White-skinned and wild-eyed from fear, they staggered to the shore with a few bags and machines no one could name. Some stayed behind to repair the ship. Others, led by a clean-shaven man with sharp eyes and a confident gait, began to trek inland, looking for the nearest settlement. With them was an interpreter, a man from the coastal city who spoke both English and the Igbo tongue. After miles of walking through forests and narrow paths, they arrived at Umudim, dusty and tired. And the first person they met was Amaka. She was returning from the stream with a clay pot balanced gracefully on her head when she froze, eyes wide with surprise. She had never seen humans with such skin, so pale, so strange. But she did not run. Instead, she stared, her curiosity overcoming her fear. The interpreter stepped forward quickly. Good maiden, he said in Igbo, these are white men. They mean no harm. Their ship was damaged by the sea. Please, can you show us to your king? Amaka blinked, then nodded. With grace and composure, she led the visitors through the wide red paths of Umudim to the king's palace. Children followed in awe. Women peeped from their huts. The village was buzzing. At the palace, the European merchant bowed as he spoke through the interpreter. He explained how the storm had forced their ship ashore. He sought shelter for a time to trade fairly with the people and to teach them reading and writing as an exchange of goodwill. The king, after a long pause and some private consultation with the elders and priests, agreed. You are welcome to Umudim, he said, but respect our customs, and your stay will be peaceful. And so a new season began. The villagers, though skeptical at first, warmed up. The Europeans shared mirrors, spices, salt, and small tools. In return, they took interest in Umudim's yam, cassava, palm oil, cocoa, and kola nut. Classes began under the great aruko tree, chalk on wood, strange symbols, books, curiosity grew. Even adults sat humbly beside children to learn. And it was during these lessons that something quietly bloomed. The European merchant's name was Mr. Everett, and no matter how many students sat before him, his eyes always searched for Amaka. She was not just beautiful, she was intelligent, eager, calm. She learned fast, and he, in turn, began to learn from her. The ways of the land, the meaning behind proverbs, the rhythm of the language, the music in the drums at night. What began as admiration turned into a soft friendship, then something deeper. He began to dream of her, and sometimes she of him. They spent evenings walking near the riverbank, exchanging stories, his about London, ships, and snow, hers about spirits, dreams, and the song of the night. Whispers began. Can a daughter of Umudim fall for a white man? Would she leave her people? But Amaka said nothing, and neither did Mr. Everett. They just cherished the time. 18 months later, the ship was fully repaired. The business had been good. Bales of palm oil and yams were loaded. Farewells were being made. The day Mr. Everett was to leave, Amaka stood by the shore, her eyes red with tears. I will write to you, he said, clutching her hand. I will never forget this land, or you. I do not want you to forget me, she whispered, but I also do not want to stop remembering you. They hugged, a long, silent embrace, broken only by the call of the ship's horn. As the ship pulled away into the sea, Amaka stood barefoot, watching until the sails disappeared into the horizon. The waves licked her feet gently, like they, too, mourned. And though her heart ached, she did not break. She returned to Umudim, stronger, wiser. And whenever people asked if she regretted letting him go, she would smile and say, love is not always about keeping. Sometimes love is about letting the wind carry it, trusting that what is true never dies.